Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Looking at CMG SKX NKE and TWTR heading into Friday, February 10th. So CMG, after the upper wick of profit taking yesterday, which certainly looked like the bulls didn't have much strength, we see a huge candlestick. Volume doesn't really back up the amount of upside that we saw here. And I was watching CMG pretty much tick for tick on the 5-minute chart today, pretty much all day. And just because I was fascinated by how strong the move was, but it was very slow and steady. And we held exponential support on the 5-minute time frame. And let's actually pull this up real quick. Might as well while I'm talking about it. So look at this uptrend where we held exponential support. We did not close below exponential support until all the way after 1 p.m. Eastern. I was watching every single dip get bought, and to me this looks like either company buyback or insider loading. And I know that's very opinionated, and there's no way for proving it until maybe sometime in the distant future when it no longer matters. But to me, the trading action that we saw was indicative of strong buying. And we've seen this on CMG before. This is not new. We saw it a couple months ago where it was just every single dip, the bears could not get any kind of momentum, and the bulls were not slowing down at all. So we saw a little bit of profit taking at the end of the day, and no surprise there. If it was a company buyback, I believe there is a rule that they can't buy towards the end of the day. I'm not sure if it's the last half hour or last hour, but either way, it's all speculation. But what it tells me is that there was a ton of strength, and the bears were nowhere to be found today. So we did close very strong on the daily time frame up near the high of the day. We've got resistance at 417.51, and I'm looking up at 420. There's a lot of price action around that level. It was resistance on January 10th, and then the highest price we saw was 434.58 in reaction to earnings. So what this does do is it continues to hold the weekly middle Bollinger Band support just above 400. We have now backtested and held this middle Bollinger Band multiple times, and after the past 2 weeks have been rejected from the 50-week moving average resistance of 419.50, if we were to see another bull day tomorrow and close above that level, that is going to be significant for the bulls heading into the rest of Q1 2017, essentially. That will be a very important level for the bulls to gain, and then we're looking up at major 440 resistance, and if the bulls turn 440 into support, we're looking at a long-term trend change. So this is very encouraging for the bulls. They should be very pleased with how today went, and if that buying shows up again tomorrow, and again, it looks like nice orchestrated computerized buying, if that does happen again, we will see that level become support. SKX bullish reversal candlestick, a little bit of a hammer yesterday, and we see some follow through to the upside today, but we back tested and rejected from the 100-day moving average of 23.44. So there is weakness at that 100-day. Nice solid bull volume. We will scout for a bearish entry opportunity after a short-term bounce. We could see some further follow-through, and that's because we are seeing some strength in the sector, as Nike's going to show us here in just a minute. But the middle Bollinger Band resistance might be a nice target to be watching, and we also have previous support now resistance of 23.96. So the gap has filled to the downside. The bulls are trying to form a reversal candlestick right off that 200-week moving average support of 22.22. But they would have to confirm that with a green week next week and a nice solid close above the weekly middle Bollinger Band 23.46. We have our lower high and lower low, but a bullish reversal hammer could see some follow through into next week. So here's NKE, huge bull move on huge volume. So we were looking for a potential bearish entry in $54 range due to the price action resistance, due to the upper Bollinger Band resistance, and the 200-day moving average resistance. We saw a little gap open, and the bulls absolutely ran out of the gate extremely strong. So even if you were making a bearish entry to try and get that top fishing, you would have been stopped out ideally pretty quickly, because it became very clear the bulls got over the highest price we've seen here of 54.12. That was a little double top, and we broke 54.12 right away and saw tons of strength and volume. So the bulls are in absolute full control of the short term now. They turned things around after not filling this gap. We had a decent pullback, but the bulls are responding with big-time bull volume and a significant move to the upside. So what this means is we need to back way off as bears, and if not in any bullish position, that just means sit back and patiently wait, because we have a clear lower high pattern still in play, and we can be watching the price. Clearly, we're breaking out on the daily and the weekly, so we're watching this resistance of 59.95. That's our lower high. If we break 59.95, we break this lower high pattern, and the bulls get tons of momentum in terms of the longer term trend. This is a bearish downtrend for almost 2 years now, a year and a half plus. But we can be looking for a bearish entry at that level and use it as a kind of top fishing resistance, as we did with $54 previously. Obviously, that wouldn't have worked this time, but that is a strategy where if we say we get up to 59.50 and we start to see some bearish reversal candlesticks on the daily time frame, then we start to look for our bearish entry and we exit if $60 becomes support. So that's a ways away from happening. So if you're a bear, you're just keeping an eye, checking in each day on NKE, but not rushing to make any bearish entries with the amount of strength and volume that the bulls are seeing short term. Twitter had a bearish reaction to earnings, big time dump, and it closed fairly close to the low of the day. We didn't see much of the bulls buying that dip at all. 16.26 is support, and then the lowest price we've seen is 16.16. And if we break 16.26, that's the next level we're looking at. So I would not be touching Twitter bullish at this point. Look at this support, where if we lose this level, we're going to see the lowest price we've seen in almost 6 months. So 16.16 is key. Then it's 15.69, 15.46, and then back to the all-time low. So the weekly time frame, we had a nice bounce on those rumors. Now we have lower highs and lower lows, a rejection from the middle Bollinger Band, weekly resistance, and all momentum is currently favoring the bears, especially if we break 16.16. So tomorrow's a pretty important day. The bulls need to establish some support and try and hold that level heading into next week, but right now, bears do have that momentum. So we'll check in on it all over the weekend. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a fantastic night.